So Director Patel, when should we expect this FY25 spend plan for the FBI? Have you seen it? Have you reviewed it? When will we get it?
I'll get you an answer, ma'am. I don't have a timeline on that.
It was due last week by law.
I understand.
And your answer is you just understand. You're not going to follow the law?
My answer is that I am following the law, and I'm working with my interagency partners to do this and get you the budget that you are required to have.
And you have no timeline?
No.
Well, we also need a full budget request, not a single paragraph full of wild talking points that we saw with the skinny budget proposal. We're now having a budget hearing without a budget request. So, Director Patel, where is the FY 2026 budget request for the FBI?
It's being worked on, ma'am.
Have you reviewed it? Have you approved it?
Not yet.
When will we get it?
As soon as I can get it from my interagency partners and get it approved.
In a hearing meant to address the budget and operations of the FBI, the conversation took a fiery turn. Democrat Senator Patty Murray came loaded with accusations, but what she didn't expect was Kash Patel. Calm, calculated, and fierce, Patel delivered a verbal nuke that silenced the committee, and in the process, he exposed what many believe is a deeper rot inside Washington. This is the moment Kash Patel took on the swamp. Senator Patty Murray wasted no time. With a tone drenched in disapproval, she accused Director Patel of turning the FBI into a political weapon. Instead of protecting Americans, she claimed, the Bureau was targeting dissenters of the administration. She slammed Patel for allegedly delaying crucial budget documents and called the absence of a full fiscal plan absurd. Her message was that under his watch, the FBI was failing. Let's dive in.
You know, the FBI does really crucial work to keep our nation safe, whether it's stopping criminal organizations or domestic terrorists, protects our nation's secrets, it prevents cyber attacks, keeps our children safe from harm, and a lot more. So this is really sober work with extremely high stakes. And I'm concerned that instead of focusing on the incredibly important mandate to keep Americans safe and to help impartially enforce our laws under your leadership, Director Patel, the FBI has been weaponized to go after Americans who disagree with the president. FBI resources have been diverted away from combating terrorism to focusing on immigration requests. And all of this, the diverted missions, the fewer resources, fewer agents, heightened politicization, is happening now under your watch, and it is, I believe, making Americans less safe. Now, let me just start with the budget. As Ranking Member Van Hollen noted earlier, this hearing is being held without the FBI's fiscal year 2025 spend plan and a full budget request for fiscal year 2026. The spend plan is required by law. It was due to Congress over a week ago. We have not yet seen it. That is really absurd. The FBI is our nation's leading law enforcement agency, a budget of $10.7 billion. It is critical that we understand how you are spending taxpayer dollars. So, Director Patel, when should we expect this FY25 spend plan for the FBI? Have you seen it? Have you reviewed it? When will we get it?
I'll get you an answer, ma'am. I don't have a timeline on that.
It was due last week by law.
I understand.
And your answer is you just understand. You're not going to follow the law?
My answer is that I am following the law, and I'm working with my interagency partners to do this and get you the budget that you are required to have.
And you have no timeline?
No.
Well, we also need a full budget request, not a single paragraph full of wild talking points that we saw with the skinny budget proposal. We're now having a budget hearing without a budget request. So, Director Patel, where is the FY 2026 budget request for the FBI?
It's being worked on, ma'am.
Have you reviewed it? Have you approved it?
Not yet.
When will we get it?
As soon as I can get it from my interagency partners and get it approved.
6 months from now?
I don't know, ma'am. I'm not going to make
Well,
up a
how do
timeline.
we as Congress do our budget and our work without that request and without the spend plan?
Well, ma'am, I'm here. I'm
don't
doing the
care.
best I can. I can't make up answers. I'm going to commit to you to work on getting you the information you need.
That is insufficient and deeply disturbing. No response?
I've given my response.
Well, the FBI is already down 1,900 employees since 2023 as a direct result of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And under the Trump administration, FBI agents, analysts, linguists, cyber experts, and scientists are being asked to do a lot more in order to keep us safe. Director Patel, we all know that budget cuts will reduce the FBI's ability to counter threats of terrorism, and it will hinder its ability to keep pace with firearm background checks and shutter operations that combat violent crime, drugs, gangs, and transnational organized crime. Now, I understand that you told our House colleagues yesterday that you don't want to reduce the FBI workforce, meaning that you disagree with what President Trump is proposing?
No, I agree that we can sustain the mission with the proposed budget, and I agree with the budget. And as I said yesterday, I believe that what I said was I can do more with more. And I gave examples of what more we could do if we were given more.
Well, it's different than what you told the House yesterday. So what are you communicating to the President and the White House about what you need? And again, we don't have a budget request from you, so I'm not sure what you're asking us for.
I'm not asking you for anything at this time.
You can operate without a budget?
I never said that.
Well, this is unprecedented. Okay, well, let me just go to another topic since you're not going to answer that. The FBI partners with state, local, and tribal law enforcement organizations. They provide critical intelligence and operational capabilities to combat violent crime and gangs and terrorist threats, fentanyl trafficking, challenges that our local communities really can't face alone. I'm going to give you an example. A few years ago, the Southeast Washington Safe Streets FBI Task Force worked with our Benton County and Franklin County Sheriff's Office, multiple Tri-Cities police departments, and the State Corrections Department to carry out one of the largest ever drug seizures in the region's history. Now we've got an administration already cutting more than $800 million in assistance in 2025 to local law enforcement organizations while proposing a $500 million cut for the FBI. Director Patel, can you explain to this committee how cutting resources for our local law enforcement partner agencies the FBI relies on to help your bureau keep safe? How do you expect the FBI and local law enforcement to do more without those significant resources they need?
The FBI will continue to do what it does, which is work with embedded state and local law enforcement officers in our Joint Terrorism Task Force, in our Safe Streets Task Force, in our gang task forces. Those are a priority. Those billets have been maintained. Those billets have not been reduced. And with my reorientation, reprogramming that we've notified Congress to, you will see an augmentation in the field in every single state in this country.
Well, again, we need to see the numbers and we need to see that budget from you. Let me ask you about the NUKE system. The FBI is really on the front lines of keeping guns out of the hands of very dangerous criminals. The NUKE serves a really critical role in enhancing national security and public safety by conducting background checks. You know this. They are supported by the vast majority of American people, and I wanted to ask you this morning, will you commit to continuing to fund and run the FBI background check system?
Yes.
Thank you.
In the heart of a tense and politically charged Senate hearing, one voice rose above the noise, not with bluster, but with calm authority and facts. That voice was Kash Patel. While Senator Patty Murray tried to corner him with layered accusations of budget failures, politicization, and retribution, Patel didn't just defend himself, he dismantled the entire premise. Instead of reacting emotionally, Patel leaned on hard evidence. Thousands of criminal cases prosecuted, massive drug and firearm seizures, partnerships with local law enforcement, and relentless work by the FBI to keep Americans safe. He reminded the nation that under his leadership, the FBI wasn't being weaponized, it was being restored. He didn't sidestep questions, he didn't offer excuses, he simply held the line, refusing to let political games distract from the Bureau's true mission. And when Murray attempted to paint administrative decisions as political retaliation, Patel made it clear, anyone removed had violated their oath, their ethics, or the law, no exceptions, no favoritism. But perhaps the most powerful moment was when Patel looked those senators in the eye and said, if you want to talk about someone who was attacked by a weaponized bureau, you're looking at him. It was more than a rebuttal, it was a truth bomb. The man once on the receiving end of Washington's political machine is now working to fix it from the inside. Kash Patel didn't ask for applause, he asked for accountability, he didn't dodge pressure, he stood in it and he owned it, and in doing so, he reminded millions of Americans that leadership isn't about pleasing a narrative, it's about protecting a nation. If you believe more leaders in Washington should speak with this kind of integrity and courage, click that subscribe button now. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was this the moment Kash Patel proved he's the right man for the job?